Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier, looking very scholarly with my glasses on. I only wear them so I can see. Never did contacts, never did contact lenses. Let's talk about 1001. Now I'm going to have to turn the light off so we can get intimate in our discussions. And you might be saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, now we can't see your pretty face. Well, I'll put the light on for a little while. I did have a nice little light source in here at one point, but right now my car is just full of wonderful things, so I can't solve all the world's problems, but I can give you a Mike's Instant Movie Review of 1001. Drama. Apparently, Sundance 2022, apparently best dramatic feature, according to the Laurels. Laurels, you might be wondering, what does that mean, Mike? That's those leaf-like objects that you see on certain film posters and so forth. So, what did I think of this movie? I enjoyed it. Thanks, asshole, for putting your fucking lights in my eyes. I enjoyed the movie. It is dramatic. It is an independent film, I guess. But focus features, I guess they're like the Walmart of independent film, or whatever you want to call it. Perhaps filling the void of Harvey Weinstein's missingness of his. Looks like I have a fucking bump on my nose. I hope I don't have skin cancer, for Christ's sakes. And wouldn't it be sad if I actually did? So I guess I have to get that looked at. I look like Rudolph the fucking red-nosed reindeer fuck. I mean, God, what's going on with my goddamn nose? In any event, I like the movie. What's it all about, Mikey? It's about a woman, 1993. I did like the fact that we go back in time to the 1993 period. We go to 2001, and we go to 2006-ish. All in New York City, and no discussion of the World Trade Center or of the the World Trade Center bombing, what year was that? 95, perhaps? And then the destruction of it, 2001, September 11th, as we all know. No discussion of that in the film, which I thought was a nice choice. Certain things like stop and frisk, Giuliani, who was the Michael, whatever the fuck, the mayor in that era, the 2006 era. So all these interesting kind of things. All these interesting things are in the movie as background fodder, but yet it doesn't take away from our main A storyline, which is Inez and her son, T, or Terry, or Daryl. Now you'll have to see the movie to find out why this young man has so many names. But basically, this movie is about a woman, the child she loves, and her attempts to provide him with a home. And also touches on things like the stepfather issue. Should a man raise another man's child? And so forth. Lucky. The dynamic of these people. They're living in tough conditions, tough times, if you would. But they are doing their best, and the absence of knowledge is that for the best or for the worst for a young man. So all these wonderful things. I guess I've given the spoiler-free version of my review, and now it's time to spoil some shit. So first off, if you've gone off and seen the movie and come back, or if you haven't, I'm going to start telling some plot points here. First off, this actress who plays Inez, very attractive woman, does have a 1993 kind of vibe to her. Hairdresser and so forth, and wears a lot of jeans. Averex, I was happy to see Lucky wearing Averex. I used to sport an Averex or an Averex shirt or two in my day, believe it or not. I had a really awesome shirt that was an Averex shirt that I'm still fond of, that I don't have anymore, but I'm fond of the memories. What else? Terry, you can see that the void in his life, because he doesn't know quite where he came from and how it kind of mutes him, and there's a hole in his heart, and all these wonderful things. The love interests, and they have like 3 different specific time frames of this movie as stated: the 93 to 94, the 2001, and then I think they say 4 years later or 5 years later, so 2005, 2006. So I think they used 2 actors to play the young man, age, God, I guess age 10 and age 17, something like that. And then age maybe 21. I think it was the same guy. But Inez, the mom, she's the same actress throughout. Always interesting to see how movies handle things like aging actors, if they use 2 different actors or if they use multiple actors. I did One Piece. I wrote and directed Dalmatian, which I believe you can find currently on One Man and a Camera Films, Dalmatian, like the dog. I wrote a script, 35-minute movie, which called for either 2 or 4 actors. The Shays did a wonderful job. Ashley Shay, her husband, Jim Shay. Great actors, great friends of mine. God, I'm kind of getting fucked up myself. Jim, was his name Jim? Ashley and I'm sorry, Mr. Shay. I think his name is Jim. I'm just losing my fucking mind. But Ashley Shay and Mr. Shay. I feel bad now because I'm drawing a blank on my own actor's name, for Christ's sakes. I'm just having a Messier moment, as it were. Yeah, it is Jim Shay. What the fuck am I worried about? I'll feel like a fuck if his name isn't Jim Shay. But basically, the Shays play 2 characters with a time difference of 27 years. But that could also have been done using 2 sets of actors. And I actually reached out to a pal of mine to see if he and a female actress wanted to play the other set of actors. And he declined because there wasn't enough fucking money involved. So, sorry, pal. You won't be famous on my accord with your acting abilities any goddamn fucking way. Going back to this movie, I enjoyed it. Drama. The woman who plays Inez would actually be great in a script that I wrote, my book, Fight or Play Basketball, also a screenplay. So she would be great as the mom, Janet, in that one. The young man, or actually I should say young men, also did a great job playing the son, Terry, Daryl. The gentleman playing Lucky did a great job. I mean, really strong acting. God, what was the name of the casting director on this one? She, was it Avi Hoffman or something? But there's a casting director whose name I always see. I should send her my headshot and resume and let her make my ass famous. But she, Avi Kaufman, I want to say, but always see her name as the casting director for these fucking movies. And she did a great job. So there you go, folks. What can you say? Did it pull at the heartstrings? Yes, a tinge. It makes you think about your relationship with your parents, your relationship with, if you have kids, with your kids. Everyone's got one or the other or both, right? You either have parents or you have kids, or maybe you don't. I don't know. I can't figure out everything. But I like the movie. There are people coming to this theater right now. It's about 11:30 at night because apparently there's some type of Super Mario's midnight screening, and I just saw a couple of moms bring their children into the theater, and I'm assuming the kids have school tomorrow, unless they're homeschooled, in which case they have home. But in the event, it's a home day. You know, what do fucking at-home students learn? Like, at home schooling kids, like, oh shit, we got to go to home tomorrow. Oh man, I can't be late. I guess that's one good thing about being homeschooled is, like, you can't really be late because you wake up and you're there. You know what I mean? It's like, oh fuck, I'm back at home. Can't wait to go home this weekend. Or what are you gonna do when you go home after home? What are you gonna do when you go home after home? I guess I'll be home. Do you have, what do you call homework when you're a at-home student? You know, like I got work. It's like shit. You know, where's the child labor laws? Because you can't say I've got schoolwork because you're not going to school. do you call homework home? Or maybe you take your fucking homework to a school and you're like, hey, I gotta go somewhere to study. Can I come to this school even though I don't go here any fucking goddamned way? I'm just making myself giggle now. Anyway, yes, good performances across the board, good story across the board. They did a really nice job aging some of the secondary characters. Our buddy T has a love interest that we see, kind of at his age 17, I guess, and his age 21. I think two actresses played that role quite well. So I was impressed. I mean, I thought, yes, it's a good movie. And there you go. So dramatic. I saw another movie yesterday. I did a Mike's Instant movie review. What was that one? Oh, that was the Florence Pugh movie. Oh God, what was it called? A Good Person. So you got 1001. You got A Good Person. And I was just contemplating as this movie was ending, like, this is kind of like one of those sweet spots. It's not quite early December, late November, early December, basically the Thanksgiving to Christmas, when you have all the movies that are trying to win an Oscar come out at once. And then you kind of have like this spring season where movies perhaps that did well in Sundance, or perhaps they're a good dramatic movie, but they're not exactly Oscar fair for whatever reason. You have like a nice spring season of good movies as well. And these movies are kind of fucked for Oscar contention just because they're released too early in the year and people have short memories, so they don't remember. But then it's like the calm before the storm, because now we're going to hit the fucking summer blockbuster season, and all the idiot marks who need to see their fucking superhero movies and their goddamn trains smashing into each other and their fucking big box office, whatever the fuck, movies, they're all going to come out in the summertime and hog up all the screens. Now, last summer we had the wonderful Top Gun Maverick, which I saw in the theater no less than 5 times. But typically every summer we get a slew of shit hogging up the screens, blah, blah, blah. I won't go into my tirade. You've heard it all before. But yes, should you see this movie? Interesting twist at the end. If you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It did catch me. I wasn't predicting it. But yes, if you saw this movie, 1001, interesting catch at the end. One thing about this movie, I wouldn't say I don't like it, but I don't know. I mean, I sat through the whole movie. I kind of had to facilitate at various points, but I held my composure. Someone's smoking marijuana. God, big gaff. That's one thing that's changed in my life, is just, yeah, you used to have to go to a fucking rock and roll concert to smell pot. Now you just go outside. It's like, oh, someone's smoking pot. Someone's smoking pot. It's just, okay, assholes, we get the point. Medical marijuana. Okay, assholes, it smells like fucking, it's the smell trash. God damn it, I botched my line. It's the smell track of white trash. There, I fucking said it. But in any event, I like the movie. But yeah, the big twist at the end, I didn't see it coming. Not exactly Sixth Sense, but still a nice big twist. You don't see dead people, don't worry about it. It's a good movie. And I tip my hat, if I was wearing one, to Inez and to Terry and to Lucky and all these wonderful characters I just spent 2 hours with on a Tuesday night. So I would mention that this movie theater, Cinemark, has a discount. Tuesday night is $6 night. When I was a child, my mother used to take me to films, and films were $1 on Tuesday nights, but I'm not a child anymore. So now it's $5.50, which is still a good deal. But of course, if you're like me, actually it's $6 for the marks, for the mainstreamers. But if you're me and you have the Cinemark movie subscription deal, which is really a good baggin', I paid $5.50 to see this movie. And I still have my AMC movies. I still have one left for this week. So I've learned to make the system work for me. These theater subscriptions. I did have another subscription, Unlimited Regal, but I actually dropped that just because I couldn't keep up with all the movies. But I know that Regal, as long as they're still in business around here, I could pick that up at any time. So that's all, folks. One Mike Messier YouTube channel. I'm rebuilding my YouTube presence. This is one of the 2 new channels. The other one is One Man and a Camera Films, where you can see all of my movies. And if you want to see the archives, if you want to see everything I've done, One Pro Wrestling channel. You don't have One Pro Wrestling fan channel, I should say. The number 1 pro wrestling fan channel. You don't have to be a wrestling fan to watch, because I've got a lot of non-wrestling stuff on that channel. The archives, if you would. Okay, folks, have a good week.